Hello, greetings. Welcome to our YouTube video, and the purpose of this video is to show you how to make decisions in the Glo-Bus simulation game. So to start the Glo-Bus simulation game, you have to understand what's happening in the industry, and important for you is to evaluate the comparative competitive efforts report. We have the drone benchmarks report, the camera benchmarks report, and the industry overview report. So evaluating all these reports will enable you understand what's happening in the industry. So from my evaluation, I realized that the companies are outdoing us. Had a PQ rating of about 7. So I don't want to compete with them directly, pushing my PQ rating to about 7, but I want to uh, choose a PQ rating of about 6.7 because I think I'm adopting uh, the differentiation strategy. So I also realized that under the product and R&D expenditure, I was lagging behind. That's why I've maxed up the product and R&D expenditures in all the regions, and I just want to catch up with the industry. So I'll max up the R&D expenditures before I make decisions. So the product enhancement decisions are always cheaper compared to other decisions like the image size, the LCD, and the image quality when you're trying to establish your PQ rating. Because remember, you always want to go with the combination that gives you the lowest total camera production assembly cost for the camera and the drone. You want the lowest assembly cost for both the camera and the drone design. So having mastered up the product R&D expenditures, I can kickstart the decisions. Maybe I'll lower this because remember I want a PQ rating of about 6.7. So I'll also come and try lower this. That takes me to 6.7. So I think with those decisions it's fine. I'll maintain a PQ rating of about 6.7. So the total assembly cost 266. I think initially it was about 271. So I'll choose that. I'll also do the same for the UAV drone design because I want a PQ rating of about 6.7, because remember your action capture camera will be attached to the drone. So you don't want to have a better quality AC camera and a low quality UAV drone, or a high quality drone and a low quality camera. So I'll also aim for nearly a similar PQ rating. So maybe I can drop, instead of a significant upgrade, I'll do a minor upgrade, 6.8. So advanced, maybe we can enhance this 6.6. I think it's fine. Carbon fiber is the highest, so 360 best available. So I think with these decisions we have achieved a PQ rating of 6.7 for the action capture camera and the UAV drone design. So next we'll go to the AC, the marketing page for the camera. So from the CCE report, you realize that most of my competitors are running discounts for almost 10 weeks while I was doing 5, which is low. So the first decision to make in this case would be maybe to match the weeks that they are running their promotions. So maybe I'll run my promotion also to 10 weeks, and then the warranty period, I'll max it up to 1 year. I think that's fine. So next we have to make our website displays, the advertising budget and the retailer support budget. So for the retailer budget support budget, we also have to evaluate the CCE report. So retailer support, we are standing at about 13.03 in North America. Compared to the industry average, we are almost 44% higher. So in Europe, Africa, I think it's the same. We are high in terms of we are spending so much on retailer support. So I don't think I'll change that because the same happens in Asia Pacific. So I don't think I'll change anything under the retailer support budget, but for the advertising budget, maybe I'll increase it a little bit. So we will increase our advertisement budget and our website display budget. So let me check. I always use the number of local retailers to make the decisions for the advertisement and the website display. So I think this one will increase it to about 6,500. We'll also do the same. No, sorry, the maximum is 5,000. So I think for the website display we'll use the online retailers, so maybe spending 200. I think spending 200 on each. So instead of 18 we'll do 3,600 here. I think that's our fine one, because market share, we have increased our market share to about 20. And when I was evaluating the CCE report, I realized that we have an industry average of about 20%, and we were lagging behind, because I always tend want to be around the industry average so that I can max up the scores. So I think that 600 is fine. So for the Europe Africa market, I think we'll do 6700 for the advertising budget, and then I will do that 600 for my website display. For the Asia Pacific, let's do 6200 for advertisement budget, and then I'll do uh, that 600. I think that 600 is a good figure for the website display. For the Latin America market, under the advertisement budget, for the advertisement budget, maybe we can do 5300 and see. So I think 5300 is fine. While for the website display, I'll do 2900. So 2900, I think that's a good figure also. You should not worry about the projected performance, because we are doing fine. Like for the net revenue, we have a positive change. For the net profit, we have a negative, but we'll change that. The ending cash, we don't have to, we don't need to have such a huge amount of cash in our banks, because we'll be forced to invest that. So after making all the decisions, we have to set our wholesale price. So from the sorry from the I think from the industry overview report, you can see what the average industry PQ rating and the average price for your product, and we can use that figure to set the price for our products. So for these products, I think we'll set a price of around 430 in all the areas. So let's do 430. No, let's say 431 in all the areas before we make the changes. 431 in all the areas, a price of 431. So you can see the email rating is not high. Okay, so let's now kickstart our decision. Remember, like all the products are produced in Taiwan, so you have to export them and import them. So like the exchange rate adjustment impacts the price that we charge. Like in North America, we are losing about $6. This about $7. So maybe I can pump up the price by $8. So this will be 439. In Europe, Africa, the exchange rate we are gaining about 27. So we can lessen this by almost 30 or maybe 28. So instead of 431, we can charge them 403. We can sell the wholesale at the price, set the price at 403. So in Asia Pacific, as you can see, we are gaining about $4, a positive of five, about 5. So we can lessen the price with about 5. So instead of 431, less than 5, maybe we can go with 426. I think that's a fair price, 426. So in Latin America, the exchange rate, we are gaining about $45, so we can lessen the price by about $45. So instead of 431, we can do maybe, let's say we can do lessen this by almost 45. Sorry, so it's 431 less 35, 431 less 35. We have about 396. So let's do 395, a price of about 395. So we can do a price of about 395. I think that's a fair decision for the AC camera marketing page. So let's move to our next page, the UAV drone marketing page. So for the UAV drone marketing page, I think we'll still run the warranty period to almost 180 days. I don't think we'll change that, but I'll have to increase the retailer recruitment budget, because I always want to spend almost about $100 for every third party unit spent. So we can increase this up to maybe, let's say 1490. We'll increase this to about 1050. Let's increase this to about 860. I think that's a fine figure. And then about 300. So I think we are done with the retailer recruitment support budget. So search engine advertisement. Under the search engine advertisements, the number of online retailers willing to sell your product is always important. So online retailers here. So maybe we can increase this to about 3,200. Like we have an assumption that we're spending almost $1,000 for every online retailer. So we'll do the same here, about 32,000. So in the Europe Africa market, maybe we can increase this to 2,700. So here we can increase this to 2,100. So yeah, we'll maintain it that way. In the Latin America market, we can increase this maybe to 2,000. So I think 2,000 is a great figure in this case. So 2,000, yeah. So I think we are done with the UAV drone marketing decisions apart from the average retailer price. So maybe we can increase the discount to 10% because we don't have to move so fast. So we'll be increasing the discount slowly. So maybe a 1% increase to 10%. But sorry, this will force us to increase the retailer spending. So I think we'll just need to boost it up. So 800, sorry about that change. Okay, so let's set the price. You can see our market share increased in all the market segments, so I don't think we'll have a problem with that. So let's set the price. You can also use the same way we use the industry overview under the drone market, the UAV drone global statistics, where we have the average PQ rating and the average price chart. You can use those figures to set your price, to set the price that you want to charge. So this will be, so this brings to about 23.31. I think it will be 23.32. So let's set the price to 23.32 in all the markets before we make the changes. So 23.32 in all the markets before we start making the changes. So going back to the exchange rate adjustment, so we are losing about 32. So in North America we can increase this by almost 32, so I think it will be 23.64. I think that's a fair price. So in Europe Africa, we are gaining about 138, so we can lessen our price by almost 138. So that will be 23.32 minus 130, so 22. So it's almost 138. So let's say we can do 2190. We'll sell at 2190. So for the Asia Pacific exchange rate, we are gaining up almost 24, so we can lessen the price by almost 24. So I think that's a fair price. While in Latin America, from the exchange rate, we are gaining almost $229. So we can lessen the price by almost 230. So 23.32 minus 230, that brings us to about 21.02. So let us say 21.03. I think that's a fair price, and those decisions are well for the UAV drone marketing. Let's go to compensation and facilities. So under compensation and facilities, I think I'll lessen this maybe to 0. So I'll compare my company and the industry average. So at 0, we are below the industry average. So I think I'll go with the 1%. Let me also do 0 here before I start increasing. So I think 2.50 is a fair price. 950 for attendance bonus, and then I think I can lower this maybe to about 1800. So for the best practices training, you always have to choose the figure that gives you the highest EPS. So I think I'll just change this. So I think the highest EPS is 6.08. So I think I can just max it up to 6.08. I don't see a problem with that. And for the, I'll do the same for the UAV drone segment. So let me make this 0 if I can compare the impact of the decisions I make with the industry average. So I think I'll offer 1% increase, that's fine. So 8.4. So I think I'll leave it at 1200 for the fringe benefits. I think I'll leave it at 2400. For the best practice training, I'll also go with the decision that gives me the highest EPS. So I think the highest EPS is 6.10. So I think I'll max it up to get the highest EPS of 6.10. So that's with the decision, the AC camera and the UAV drone workforce compensation decision. So we'll go to the assembly facilities. So under the assembly facilities, the assembly capability without overtime should always be around an equal figure to your projected camera demand. So for this case, I think we won't make any changes, so we leave them that way. But for the UAV drone, so the demand, projected demand is about 213, while the assembly capability without overtime is about 181. So I have to expand. So I have 100 workstation, so it means I have 10 more spaces available. So maybe I'll fill up the spaces, so 199 and 213. So, and I'll also have to expand, maybe I'll buy 20 new spaces. I think with that it's fine, because we can't avoid working overtime in this case. So I think with those decisions we are done with the assembly facility. Under the robotics upgrade are important in enabling you save on costs of production, but you should only initiate a program if the negative is about 1,000. So for this case, initiating the upgrade gives us a net annual cost impact of robotics upgrade of negative 700. So I don't think with such a figure I'll initiate the upgrade, so I'll just choose no upgrade. Let's see for the, so we have the same issue with the UAV drone, so I'll not initiate an upgrade, so I'll leave it that way. Those are the decisions for compensation and facilities. Next we'll go to special contract offers. So under special contract offers, sorry, let me close these other tabs. So you'll evaluate your CCE report and see the value index that won the last special contract. So you can see in Asia Pacific we have 65 for Asia Pacific. Latin America there was about 67. So Europe, Africa 63. So the value index of around 60 wins you the special contract, but it's not certain that it will win you the special contract. So maybe I'll max up the discount offered in all the regions and see the impact. So we have 64. Maxing this up, we have 70. So I don't think I'll change them. 66. So that's a good figure. We have 71. So what's important is the contribution margin, because when we max up our special discount offer, we have a positive contribution margin. So I don't think I'll make any change, so I'll leave them that way, because the contribution margin is a positive. If it was a negative, that would be an indication that you are making losses, so you don't have to initiate them. So if I want to incorporate these decisions into my projected performance, so I just click yes in all the segments, and I can do this, no problem with doing this. So I'll just click yes, then I'll go to corporate citizenship. So remember, your investment under corporate citizenship proves important in improving your image rating. So I'll initiate a charitable contribution of maybe 1% of my operating profit. I'll continue with the green initiative. Renewable energy, I think it's expensive, so I'll start small, maybe 500. I won't change the improved working condition and the institution code of supply. I'll just let these programs to continue. So those are all the decisions with the corporate citizenship. Next, I'll move to the finance and cash flow. So important under the finance and cash flow is for you to evaluate the performance on credit rating measures. So the DE ratio, the interest coverage ratio, and the current ratio. So I think a current ratio of 6 is so high. I want to maintain it at about 2. I don't think 2 is bad. So I'll start by paying my loans. I'll pay all the loans. I think it's too early for me to offer dividends, so I'll switch that. Instead of 0.75, I'll switch it back to 0. And then the most important thing is for me to repurchase stock. So the maximum I can repurchase is 25.94. So 25.94. Let me input the figure and see. So with purchasing stock, you can see that the projected cash balance at the end of the year is a negative. I don't want to get an emergency loan, and the shareholder equity drops to about 91. So I just want to boost it up to maybe the mandated minimum of 100 million. So let me see if we do 25.84. Let me see. So 94. Let's do. Let's repurchase maybe 24. So 119. I think I'll settle with that stock repurchase of 2,484. And then so because I don't want to save the decisions with the projected cash balance of negative 92,000, because this will earn me an emergency loan. So I'll just take a 10-year loan bank. So maybe let's see, because at a 3.5% interest, that's low compared to the loans that I had earlier. One had an interest rate of 5.4, the other one 8.5. So I think I'll opt for the loan with an interest rate of 3.5, because that's a bit a cheaper loan. So let me increase the amount of loan I'm taking, because I don't want to have a negative number. So instead of 58, let's make it 158 and see. So 65, I have a projected cash balance of about 65,000. I think that's also too high. I want only a cash balance of about 40 or maybe 30, so I can lower the loan that I'm taking. So I think a cash balance of 30, ending cash of 30 is not a bad decision. So those are our decisions. So current ratio dropped to about 1.89, which is good. So I think I'll just save the decisions. And as you can see, the scoring measures, earnings per share, we are almost there. The return on equity was higher. The credit rating dropped a bit, but we increased our image rating. So I think I'll save the decisions. So what you can do, you can like this video and subscribe, so that whenever we have other videos, informative videos like this, you can be notified. And please feel free to contact us in case of any challenges or concerns.